What's up guys, my name is Ace and I've been away for the weekend and I just got back and I noticed there were a bunch of leaks that happened a couple days ago regarding Modern Warfare 2 and even a couple little leaks regarding Treyarch's next Call of Duty game, which appears to be coming in 2024. So that's pretty crazy that we're getting leaks this far in advance for a Call of Duty game, but we're not going to be touching on those ones too much since it wasn't much aside from basically concept art. But for the Modern Warfare 2 leaks, we did get some map loading images, so we can at least see the general art style and colors that they're going for, not really the layouts though, so we don't get any indication of how these maps will play. Also, there were a bunch of really blurry images of operators that are going to be in Modern Warfare 2. And I think most interestingly, we've got some strings from the code which give us a better indication of what the DMZ mode will look like, and also some additional items that I wanted to mention here. Now keep in mind throughout this video, of course, I'm not going to be showing any of these leaks here today. I'm just going to be talking about them. I will try to have a link down below that will point you in the direction of those leaks. But keep in mind, Activision is getting on top of these very quickly, so it's likely that link won't be working for very long, if it even is working by the time this video goes live. And without further ado, let's dive right into this, and I wanted to start off by talking about the DMZ mode. Now, this is that rumored Escape from Tarkov style mode where you drop into a sort of open world environment, and you gather loot and then try to extract safely. However, it is a very high-risk mode, so if you get killed in the process, anything that you take with you, you end up losing. Now, it turns out, based on this code, there's actually a lot more to it than that. There's going to be a bunch of missions that you can potentially complete as well in this open world environment for DMZ. And from what I can tell, it kind of looks like these are going to appear just like contracts do currently in Warzone. Now, that's not necessarily confirmed, it's just by the way that things are worded here. It seems like you have to find these contracts or missions, and then you activate them, and then you have to complete whatever they tell you to complete if you want to finish the mission. So the first several of these are fairly basic. You've got one called Search, where you have to search marked areas for radioactivity. Then we have Mass Elimination, where you just have to eliminate some hostiles. We have Scavenger, you have to collect intel. Another one is you have to destroy supplies. So with this, you have to actually plant charges at 2 different supply sites, and then you have to defend the charge until detonation. After that, we have Supply Drop, where you have to collect airdrop supplies. Then there's one that's simply called Extract, where you have to extract safely from the match. After that, we have Search, where you have to search the marked areas for additional intel. Then we have a very interesting one. You have to rescue a hostage, so you have to actually go and transport a hostage to safety. The next one involves a safe, where you have to find and open a safe, and then you loot the safe and defend the safe from hostiles. There's also one called Loot the Stash, where, big surprise, we have to loot an unlocked stash. After that one, there's one that involves boats, actually. It's called Cargo Shipment, where it looks like you have to use a boat to deliver the cargo to the HLZ, or Helicopter Landing Zone. After that, we have Secure Intel, where you have to locate a hard drive. There's a mission for destroying a SAM site as well, so you have to detonate an explosion near a surface-to-air missile site. It seems like with this, there's also a couple strings that allow you to plant or defuse explosives. So it kind of seems like if a different squad or a different player plants explosives at a SAM site, you could potentially go and defuse that bomb as well. Then there's a standard elimination mission where you just have to eliminate a player and collect intel from their body. There's a secure radioactive material mission where you have to enter a marked area and then acquire Geiger counters from the cache. And then finally with these strings, there's one called Deliver Cargo, which doesn't appear to be using a boat like we saw with the Cargo Shipment. With this one, it just says locate and enter the vehicle. So we don't know if this is a ground vehicle or what it is, but you have to get to the vehicle and then deliver the cargo that's in the vehicle. So those are the mission strings. Now I just want to quickly cover a bunch of items that were found in this as well that relate to DMZ. First one is night vision goggles, so it looks like there's going to be nighttime versions of DMZ as well, which is quite interesting. And then on top of this, there's various keys that open different areas, like the resort entrance, or the drilling safe, or the foreman's office key. Like, there's a wide variety of keys that will open different areas, presumably containing loot that you want to be getting for this mode. And with all of this in mind, seeing all these different missions and items that you get in DMZ, it seems like there's actually going to be quite a bit of depth to the gameplay loop, where it's not just like drop in, go pick up items, and then get to the extraction site. There's a lot more to do in between that. And that seems promising. One of the concerns that I've had when we started hearing about this DMZ mode is how are they going to have a lot of long-term replayability while also appealing to the more casual audience that Call of Duty has? I feel like they probably can't go with as much depth in the items and the inventories as something like Escape from Tarkov, because that would just be way too hardcore for the average casual Call of Duty player. But from the looks of these leaks, it looks like they're adding depth in the gameplay loop itself, where it's kind of going to be a pick-your-own-adventure. You're not just dropping in and grabbing loot, you're dropping in and finding these missions, and you're completing these different missions that require you to perform different objectives. And in the process, you're going to be collecting your loot, whatever that loot might be. We're still pretty unclear on that at this point. And I really like the idea of that. It seems like they can keep the loot more simplistic because the depth of the mode is going to come from the gameplay itself. And this is really starting to look like a true open world sort of Call of Duty experience where you hop in and, like I said, you get to sort of pick your own adventure once you do drop in. There's a wide variety of things that you can do, and it seems like you can just pick whatever direction you want to go with that. And I love that idea. Instead of being more of like a one-to-one copy of Escape from Tarkov, it seems like, at least in many ways, it's kind of going to be doing its own thing. And while of course these are just leaks at this point, and we also still don't have the full picture here, we don't know everything that's going into DMZ, all of this seems very promising. It seems like DMZ is really going to be its own unique thing. And this just gets me more and more excited to see more information regarding this DMZ mode. And with that, there's another thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to DMZ. This is coming from a separate leak, this time from Tom Henderson, and this one just came today. If you guys remember, about a week or two ago, I made a video talking about how DMZ may actually be a free-to-play experience. That was from a leak from Ralph's Valve. Well, it turns out Tom Henderson is getting conflicting information here, and now it's looking like DMZ may not be free to play. I don't know what's going on here, but it seems to be flip-flopping back and forth. And I just wanted to bring that up today because it seems like we really don't know which direction it's going. According to Tom Henderson, DMZ is just going to be a mode attached to Modern Warfare 2, kind of like the Spec Ops mode was, where you do have to buy the game in order to play it, whereas according to Ralph's Valve, it's not a mode that's launching until next year, and it's going to be a free-to-play experience that's separate from the regular multiplayer. So at this point, I really don't know what to think about this, and this is one of the reasons you should take leaks with a grain of salt. A lot of the times there's conflicting information, or a leak may be correct in that current moment, but then things change and the developers pivot in a different direction. So yeah, just wanted to bring that up. We still don't know exactly how DMZ is going to be launching. Now, on top of this, with these leaks, another thing I wanted to point out here is Ground War is returning. That's confirmed officially by Infinity Ward. We will be seeing Ground War, just like from Modern Warfare 2019. However, it looks like there's actually going to be multiple Ground War modes this time, which also really excites me. That's something that I really wanted to see throughout Modern Warfare 2019's lifecycle, because I really didn't like the standard 6v6 experience all that much, but I did enjoy myself with Ground War. The only problem was it was one game mode. It was like that big map domination with 5 different flags that you could control, and that was it. We never got any additional modes that required you to think differently about the map or the objective on the map. And therefore, as much as I did like playing Ground War in Modern Warfare, I felt like it got a bit stale over time because it was just the same mode over and over again. This time around, it looks like there's going to be multiple Ground War game modes. One of them is listed as Ground War Bomb, so it looks like there's going to be some kind of a bomb site interaction, maybe like a big map demolition or something along those lines, and I love the idea of something like that. Then it looks like there's going to be a Ground War AI mode, so we may be able to hop in and play Ground War against AI, maybe in a custom match even, which is something we couldn't do in Modern Warfare 2019. And then finally, it looks like there's going to be a Ground War team deathmatch, where the description for this says, hold the front line and eliminate the enemy team. So no flags or anything to worry about. You just have to kill enemy players and try not to die. And with that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in today's video regarding these particular leaks. There was definitely more that got leaked, and I may make other videos discussing those separately since they are sort of a separate topic. But this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What are you thinking about these leaks regarding DMZ Missions and how it seems like there's a bunch of different objectives that you could potentially complete in an open world environment? And also, what are your thoughts on having unique Ground War objective modes that aren't just the standard Ground War that we had access to in Modern Warfare? Are you generally excited about these leaks, or not so much? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.